Hello, in this video I plan to do a statistics problem, which is finding the mean, variance, and standard deviation for a discrete probability distribution. So we have a good example here. X is our random variable. It represents the number of children living in a U.S. household in the year 2008. So X ranges from 0 to 5, and we have our associated probabilities here. So in order to find the mean, that'll give us the mean number of children living in a household. We use this formula for mu. So as it explains here, we take each value of x and multiply by its corresponding probability and then add the probabilities. So a good way to do this, we have a table here that's written horizontally. I like to make a vertical table. So here's the table written vertically. So to multiply across, we can make a third column, x times p of x. Okay, and then let's see, what will we get? We would just multiply across, we get 0 here, 1 times 0.384. Okay, that's 0.498. When we multiply across, we get 0.318. And here we get 0.128. And here we get 0.100. Okay, so in order to find the mean, we add the product of x times p of x. So we add all these values in our new column. And when we do that, what we get is 1.428. So the notation we use is mu equals, and it says here in the instructions, round to 1 decimal place. So the mean number of children in a U.S. household in 2008 was 1.4 children per household. Okay, so the next step is we want to calculate the variance and standard deviation. So we'll calculate the variance first, and then the standard deviation, according to the formula, is simply the square root of whatever we got for the variance. So there's actually two formulas. I like to call this one the long formula, and then here we have the shortcut formula. I think it's easier to use the shortcut formula, because to use the shortcut formula, you simply need to create a new column for x squared times p of x and subtract mu squared. So we'll subtract 1.428 squared from the product of x squared times p of x. Okay, so to find, what we need is the sum of x squared times p of x. So what that means, to find x squared times p of x, is we'll make a new column, x squared times p of x. And what we need to do now is we need to square each x value and then multiply by p of x. Okay, so let's do that. So we get second, this one. Okay, so we will get 0, and we get 1 squared times 0.384, which will be 0.384. 2 squared is 4 times 0.249. That will be 0.996. Okay, then 3 squared is 9. So that would be 0.954. Okay, 4 squared is 16 times 0.032. That will be 0.512. And 5 squared is 25 times 0.02 is 0.500. Okay, so then when we add this new column, it will give us the sum of x squared times p of x. This part right here. Okay, so let's see what we get when we add that. we get 3.346. And so this will be the sum of x squared times, this will be the sum of x squared times p of x. Okay, so we just added our new column. Okay, so then the variance will equal 3.346 minus 1.428 squared. Also, although we rounded the mean off to 1.4, when you do this calculation, you want to leave this as 1.428 and then round off only your final answer. Otherwise, if you put in 1.4 here, you may get round off error. Okay, so we'll do this calculation. So we get 3.346 minus 1.428 squared. And that will give us 1.3068, which when we if we round to one decimal place, we'd get 1.3. And finally, the standard deviation will be the square root of the variance, so it would be the square root of 1.3068, which will give us so square root, that will give us 1.143. And then we would round off to one decimal place, we would get 1.1. So for the number of children living in a U.S. household, the mean number of children is 1.4. The variance is 1.3 for the number of children. And the standard deviation is 1.1 child. So that's how you do the calculation.